See if it's working. Doing multi-streaming again. Looks like it's going. Make this public. Done. Save. How's it going? All right. I'll be looking at photos today of the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. Whoops. All right, that should be working. Switch to here. Taking some notes as I go, in case I notice anything for a future video. I forgot to actually put the things in a video project. If you have any questions throughout the stream, let me know, like gear recommendations or something. I tend to get those usually in comments, which is fine. But if you're interested in talking about camera equipment, feel free. All right. Minimize that. Got that going. I have a little tiny screen for the chats, so it might be hard for me to read them, but we'll see. Here we go. Got quite the reflection on the screen. We'll see. All right. Pull in the video files. So I did the usual thing. I go to an event or convention. I have a GoPro on me. Get the bag as well and a camera. So. This is the bag that I use. It's actually designed for GoPros and such, action cameras. Got the quick release, the GoPro, and then a cable that goes into the bag. The GoPro itself, Maxlens Mod GoPro Hero 9. And then I have a different door that has a hole in it. So that closes down, and then I can access the USB port when it's running. And then, of course, standard GoPro connector. And the quick release for the Ulanzi claw system goes into this. So that's easy enough. And then that's, on my shoulder, obviously. Yeah. Well, I can show the camera as well. Pull it. This is what I use for the battery. Let's see how much battery it used. It's at 89%. So basically, have an additional battery in here in case I need it. So that's one of the Enduro batteries. And it has a little slot for micro SD. and then the cable that goes from the bag goes into the bag, and that connects to this. We've got the 2470 F4 OSS. It's basically the cheapest fixed maximum aperture zoom lens in the system, as far as I know. And then I used the Sony A7S original with that lens, and then this Viltrox 28 4.5 pancake lens. All right. So that was the equipment we used. I could show past years as well, but you'll get the idea once we start looking at the pictures. Let me pull up the video stuff first. Oops. All right. In this specific program, I have to sort it by modified date so that I can get the right order, because GoPro file naming is really odd. So we got a lot of footage of the event, POV footage, taking photos. There's LGR, that's his brother. I met him a few years ago at the same event. Some tiny little clips. Yep. See, this is still working. Oops, click live. There we go. It seems to be working. Oops, where is my OBS preview? It's not gonna fit too well to show that. There we go. Good enough. Yeah, this is basically what it looks like. I have a ton of video footage as I was taking photos. Oops. I have the GoPro set to a taller aspect ratio so that in the future when I do vertical video of it, you know, I've got more vertical space to work with in that case. Yeah, this is the main area. They do have at least one room in addition to this for the talking stuff, but I didn't go in there. So I was talking to him. He had some old robots. Yeah, the camera's blocking it. But this robot had sonar, apparently. This one was supposed to be like a home robot. I do have photos of it closer up. We can start looking through the pictures. Yeah, so this is Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. It's probably one of the biggest ones around, but it definitely has grown the last number of years. How's it going? How you doing? I'll pull up their website. I have the chat on a tiny little screen, so it might be difficult for me to read it, but I'll try. So here's their website. They always have a very unique website, kind of retro look to it. This one's not as bad as the previous ones. It's actually going on today, but I went yesterday. So the gist is that it's a bunch of old retro computing equipment, related things, phone, networking. You'll see through the photos. I'll talk about some of it. But yeah, it's a cool event. I think it expanded a lot when the YouTubers started going to it, or at least they made videos about it. That might have been how I noticed this thing existed. I'm not totally sure, but basically I heard about it, I think around the pandemic times, and I didn't go. If it was happening 2020, I don't think I went, but then 2021, I did go. Or somewhere about that time. I do have a video on it. I can pull that up. CF. Okay, I have one for 2024. So I think this is my third time. Yeah, here's 2022. So that must have been the first one. It's 2022. And
if you are someone that literally
mute that. It's so odd that YouTube puts ads on my own videos and it knows that I'm logged in. Midwest, maybe 2 or 3 years. Oh, actually, that might be too loud. Find which browser window to go. Pandemic and everything, I just didn't want to risk it. However, this year, I checked it out. Because I wanted to do some photography. So this was there with old early one. You can see it's a different location. A really interesting aesthetic to it, and my goal was to take photos. The event website is vcfmw.org. It's a free event featuring past technology. There are informational displays, booths set up for selling equipment, mini computers, and other types of equipment available to try out. I think they also had panels running. Oh, I've got multiple. Sorry. But I wasn't sure where that was going on. Related to YouTubers and video makers, I did talk to one of them. Luke is a fine name, is his YouTube channel. I saw him yesterday. Check it out. A lot of photography content.
I've seen some of your photography videos. Oh, cool. Yeah. So I decided to go a little bit manual.
Nice.
Slightly manual.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Fujinon.
Definitely worth checking out. I sold that lens to KH a while back, but it was a Fujinon, maybe around 50 millimeters and slightly radioactive. So his brother does the vintage computer stuff, LGR, and also I saw the 8-bit guy as well as Ben Heck. Anyways, he wasn't there this year. Snapshot, but he was. I didn't see him. I didn't see him either, but his booth was there and his wife was there, I think, manning the booth. Yeah. So this 2022. Again, I went in 2024 as well, and this year. So this original one, I did a mix of vintage camera lens, and I think I used another lens as well. Oh, I even mentioned the radioactive lens thing. Yeah, that space was pretty cool as well, but they definitely needed to expand at that point. Parking was difficult. Information. I mean, parking is difficult at the current one too, because it's not just them using it. But I managed a nice spot because someone else was leaving at the time. But yeah. So that's what that is. You can look at the current photos. They sell t-shirts. They do an auction. I'm not totally sure how they managed to pay for this thing. It might be donations, it might be merch sale, like merch, the auction. I think they make some money at, and I would assume they're charging the booth people money, but there's no admission fee, which is nice for the people going to it. You just walk in there and hang out, basically, which is cool. Yeah. I seem to have nice graphic designers or something. I don't know what this is, but the first thing I saw, just random, almost looks like a 3D printer or something. It says watercolor bot. So it's like watercolor painting robot. This dude's very busy. It's over the 2 days, but I would assume Saturday is the most hectic one. Some random crowd photos, and you can see this odd looking thing there. So I did do a mix of shutter speeds with the hope that I would get screens looking decent-ish. But I mean, in the moments, it's difficult because it's hard to see in the screen exactly what's going on and such. So I'm going to be writing some notes. You can see them on the screen for a future video. Whether I edit this quickly or not, we'll see. I have a lot of other projects that I can edit. Camera settings. Let's see. Does that show up in the... A little bit. No, I guess it doesn't matter. Set up 2 custom modes, one for each lens. I was using the 24 to 70 f4 full frame lens. Sony branded Vario-Tessar, FE, 24 to 70 ZA OSS. OSS is the stabilization. It's T-Star. It's basically one of the cheapest full frame zoom lenses that they have. That's fixed maximum aperture through the zoom range. So the first photos are with that. I set a minimum shutter speed. Well, actually, I was using manual mode, but I had auto ISO. And then I set a default shutter speed of 1/200th of a second. But the thing is, with CRT screens, that shutter speed is too fast to capture much of the screen as it should look in real life to a human. So I did end up lowering my shutter speeds quite a bit as I went, with the hope that I would get a better look to those. But then I pushed that with the f4 aperture. I didn't use any smaller apertures into the number 1 and of the custom modes. And then number 2, I was using this Viltrox 28mm f4.5 pancake lens. They had sent me this probably last year. I still have it. It's interesting. It's autofocus. It does not have a focus ring, which is kind of irritating sometimes. It's also the minimum focus. The reproduction ratio of this lens is not ideal, but I think it worked okay for this event. So anyways, that was the combination of equipment. for that. Copy that. Oops. Do you have any general gear questions or answer, any man, I'm struggling to speak today. If you have any questions about camera equipment or something, you just want to talk about camera gear or something, feel free to mention that in the comments or chat, I should say. I forgot I'm in streaming mode, so in the chat. I'll try to read it. I've got the chats on this little, I think it might be a 5-inch screen. So I'll have to lean in to actually read it. But I should, at the very least, I should notice it show up. Hopefully. So anyways, very cool event. There's little details everywhere. Old phones, that looks like stereo equipment. Some type of keyboard. I don't know if it's a MIDI keyboard. That probably is too old to be MIDI. It's a mix of, well, you could see the 5 1/4 inch floppy. Is that what they were called? I am old enough that I had used those. Oh, yeah, 5 1/4. So a fourth, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, there were probably many different versions of that for different computers. Things were definitely not nearly as standardized. Just random old computers and stuff. Very detailed structure of whatever this thing is. That's Japanese language. Okay. My katakana pronunciation is not great, so I'm not going to attempt. It's kari. I can't remember what this one is. Ruby something. But that is this thing. Okay, that's a vacuum tube, I think. Yeah, those are interesting. This camera is 12 megapixels approximately, so it's not going to have a huge amount of detail, but I wanted to get that unique look and just wanted to use this camera more for photography and see how it went. So in this case, I think it's fine. I did notice quite a few photos that were not focused properly. It just could have been in the moment type of thing, but it also could be, this is a contrast-based autofocus camera. It's just not as consistent or good as current stuff, but it's not a huge deal. And we could see this is ISO 5000 and it looks good to me. It looks fine. So that's another benefit of the A7S is high ISO performance. Those are capacitors in a pickle container, or jar, I should say. So they had a little LAN setup going, very cool. That looks like Quake. Yeah. Got a brownie today. This thing is 500 calories just for this. Oops. Yeah, very cool. I should have probably tried to play this a little bit or do land gaming, but I just did photography pretty much. So this is a very odd, whatever the heck this is. I don't know if that relates to it. Let me see. AV G20. Yeah, I don't think that relates to it. But whatever this is, it was unique looking. Probably some type of medical related tool. Like a practice tool or something. I don't think this had any relation to that either. This is video recorder PV100 something. Astrovision. Okay, this one, the focus is a little off here. It's a telecommunications device for the deaf. Is there a Braille interface? Oh, what am I thinking? Braille is for the not the visually impaired. So, man, I'm out of it today. I had to wake up pretty early. Anyways, there's a pony. You can see the issue with fast shutter speed. So that was 1/200th of a second too fast. This is a cool PC case. This is a soldering station. Or I should say stations for people to practice. I don't know what that was. Pokemon stickers. Some type of Playmate Cool Tunes by Igloo. So it's inside of it. You can put stuff and it'll stay cold if you have ice in there. And then clearly it has some type of stereo or something. So here's one situation where the autofocus was not correct. So they had basically a phone system set up inside. And then they had phones placed throughout the event space that people could try to call each other. It's an AMD logo. Not sure what this thing is. Yeah, that's Russian or something. Zenith Data Systems. It's VCF Midwest. Little hints of that everywhere. Relay in Crystal Computer. Another situation of missed focus. The TTL data book. Yeah, that's cool. I think the next stations were Steve Jobs thing. But maybe this is not the same, because this looks much, much older. Yeah. Some random computer. DDR. So the original DDR. Whoops. Stromberg Carlson intercom phone. Again, another issue with missed autofocus. Gonna get rid of this plate. A nationwide network of support Radio Shack computer centers. Wow. Unix world. Zenix. I've never heard of that. I don't remember. Or did I say Z? It's XZ. NX. Released in 1980. Succeeded by OS2. Last released in 1991. Yeah. Anyways. This is supposed to be a Xenix computer. So, Tandy 4000 XS running Doom. A tiny little window. It's funny. This is even older. Yeah, I don't know what era this would be. Intertech Data Systems, Superbrain. 1979. Dual Z80 CPU. Almost $10,000 in 2025 money. Over 10,000 for this other one. Super density. This is the QD quad density one. COBOL. Of the programming languages I've used, COBOL is one of the worst to use. That and something called JCL that relates to it. I really did not like programming in that stuff. Oops. Okay, that's Knight Rider guy. I don't know, love someone. Help needed coding Pi Pico C. Old video camera. I don't know what that is. Kai Pro 10. The arrow keys are up at the top. Interesting. So this is a remake of the Commodore 64 by using a Raspberry Pi, it looks like. I know that's for the disk drive. 1541 is one of the disk things. Cycle accurate emulation of the specific disk drive. This was my first computer, a Commodore 64. It was a hand-me-down from a friend of the family at the time. So at the time, when I got it, it was old. And I tried doing programming and stuff with it, using the book that came with it. I was basically able to do some of that, but I could never figure out how to save the programs that I had written, so I didn't get super far with it. But I specifically remember trying to make a text adventure about Ninja Turtles. So, speaking of, that's what we got on today. Things change but don't change sometimes. what that is. That was kind of creepy. Whatever that is. Init Tech. That was interesting. So they're breaking out a PCMCIA or whatever it's called into something, and then another one. And then that goes into some type of audio situation or something. Not really sure what they were trying to do. And this one. Little controller of some sort. Yeah, it's a 6502. That's a very, very, very common CPU for that era. Just random stuff on sale. $50 for Doom 2 or Diablo 2. Man, my brain is messed up today. Diablo. I don't know where I got Doom from. Warcraft. It's actually cheaper than 25 versus $40 when whoever bought it. That's funny. Usually things like this go up in value over time. Loom? Lucasfilm Loom. I think all LucasArts at the time. Looks kind of cool. Whoops. Timex Sinclair. That was an interesting looking screen. Oh, man. Pay for calls. This is one of the situations I lowered the shutter speed to hopefully deal with the CRT. So it worked a little bit, but not perfect. It's 1/60th of a second. Bunch of graphing calculators. The girl geek. Some type of Game System Casio Puppy Love Story. I took a few photos of this one as I passed it with both lenses. And again, I was trying to adjust it. So this is 1/200th of a second, and then this is 1/60th of a second. So much better with the CRT. Yeah. It was a little bit blurry, but I took a second photo. X68,000 sharp. Very like I don't know, industrial looking computer. Not sure what game that is. It's on a Sony something. But a Sony computer. This was Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Looks like it's being run on a Super Famicom in some type of probably SD card based cartridge thing. Telecommunication demo. These two 300 baud BAUD modems allow one Commodore to call another in 1985. The VIC modem on the VIC-20 and the modem 300 on the C64 connected via a program named Common Sense. Select 1A to answer. That's cool. Okay, that's the VIC-20. Here's the C64. I'm not really sure what the difference was between those two. Micro Lab. Big old sign. Yeah, a lot of the tables were selling equipment. So I think this was one of those items. Random computer stuff. This looks like fiber optic cable. The Miracle. So this, assuming it's the right one, it looks like it. That was on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Maybe other systems, but you could get this. It's a pretty large keyboard, and there was related software on the game with a cartridge, and it would help you learn piano and stuff. That was cool to see in person, because this is one of those things I wanted as a kid, but didn't get it. Some Blockbuster collector's edition watch or something. $2.95. I think this is separate. Some type of computer. Thinking machines, connection machine. Whatever that is. Acorn Systems Simulator. $1,200 for Macintosh, whatever that is. Again, another situation with missed focus. Same thing here. There's no reason that it should have failed focus here, but it did. Yeah, this old stuff that people are selling in this case. I couldn't get close to this, but it's a chessboard of some sort. I assume it's digital or something, but it looks 3D printed. Not sure. So repackaged or recased Apple IIc probably. And there's what the original probably looked like. And this is a different model. So a bunch of booths had camera things set up like this. So a nice little self-portrait. Polycom view station. I wonder if this was hooked up to another one somewhere. That's a big lens for a thing like that. Oh man, I'm surprised the screen looks so good at that shutter speed. That's interesting. Okay, I lowered the shutter speed for this one. So it looks like they probably had it connected to a network or something. Like an internal network. But oh yeah, this guy rolled up. And then I was like, okay. Attention dogs adapters. I collect ICs, CPUs, etc. Donate to the collection of strayed chips. Oh man, what is this? What's with all the ones and zeros? For now computers work at the machine level with a relay-based computer. Okay, looks like a mobile little computer thing. It's cool. Let me pull up my notes again. Auto ISO. Didn't have these the same. No, This one is actually fixed aperture, I think. Yeah. So I'll thank myself later when I actually edit a video from this. Whoops. If I do decent notes. Well, actually... I probably should have been writing down which photo related to what thing. Oh well. Some random pictures of stuff. Some type of robot. Oh. All right. Another misfocus. Yeah, that's 1849. Save that in the notes in case. Oops. Is this wrapping weird? It looks okay. I don't know what that is saying. American Retro Shop. Evo? How to get an IBM PC for just $1,995 by a chameleon. Sequa Computer Corporation. March 1984. Intel 8088 Z-Log Z80A. Up to 640K of RAM. Altoids computer. Hmm. 464 something. It looks cool. Interactive core memory kit. The Hero Junior. As Androbot. The first robot for the home. Nolan Bushnell. I think he was the guy that did Showtime Pizza and stuff. Let me see. Actually, I could use Wikipedia. Atari, yeah. Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater. No, it's called Showbiz Pizza. Call it Showtime Pizza. Showbiz Pizza. Pizza Time Theater. Alright. Yeah, they had one of the animatronic machines set up. I think I talked to him last year, this guy. I have him in a video on my tech channel of little interviews. I didn't really talk to anyone that much for this one. I was very busy. But anyways, he remade the circuit boards designs. So people that have this stuff, I guess, they can make replacements, which is cool. Radio Shack something. Coco title. 96, whatever Coco is. Commodore PET. It's a well-known computer. Very specific looking design. There's the C64 disk drive. And then what if this Commodore Plus 4? Yeah. Well, it's an old Dell LCD. I still have one of those. It's bigger than this one though, I think. Well, the one that I have is 19-inch. It has a bunch of inputs, so it's good for console games. It's kind of why I have kept it so far. But at some point I might have to get rid of it. That's weird. Big stack of disk drives. I have a better photo of it. Yeah. $75 for a working, no, non-working. Working 50, non-working what? How's that? I don't understand the pricing. Amiga. Nitro something. Whoops. Got some Apple computers. It looks like Oregon Trail. Some YouTuber. Probably. And they're selling equipment. 30-inch cinema display, $200. Mini disc stuff. The lampshade computer. Introduced in 2002. My aunt and uncle had one like this at one point. Another YouTuber. I didn't get the chance to talk to him, but I've seen some of his videos. Dave's Retro Video Lab. Super Nintendo with a multi-cart thing. It's got a USB cable coming out of it for some reason. I actually did have one of these. Not the purple, but this is like a repainted Commodore 64. But I did, as a kid, I had this musical keyboard thing. Again, it was a hand me down from people that my parents knew. LGR's booth, that's his brother. Well, that was a terrible photo. I went back there, so I probably have better pictures. Later in this set here, I'm actually only barely halfway. Took a lot of pictures. But I probably have a bunch of duplicates too because I switched lenses. I went from, these are still the 24-70 f4. It's a very classic focal length range. F4 maximum aperture through the range, which is convenient. And then I switched to the Viltrox 28 4.5. Both on the A7S original from Sony. Let's see what this thing is. Commodore X16 Carbon Arcade. So this is a newer computer design that the 8-bit guy worked with a bunch of other people to make this retro styled computer that can be built with current era equipment, at least what's available. There's Adrian's Digital Basement. I watched a bunch of his videos. I'm not sure who this is. Oh, Macintosh Librarian. It's a cool looking computer. Bunch of Apple laptops, looks like. Bronze computer and video. Old LCDs. Very difficult to read. I'm sure they're probably worse now. But even back when these things were released, they were not ideal. Lisa LCD. It's an Apple computer, probably. Random stuff. Okay, she was drawing some type of character. I don't know what that is. HDMI like video on Apple IIc. To gaming consoles. YouGotMail.com. Got some Halo going. Multiplayer Halo. How much are 64? Hasten. Whoops. Tower games. Probably who knows what else. Some type of thing for kids. I mean, teaching them computers or something. This is cool looking. Gym motors and stuff. Avatar. AVA Tech. Let's look this one up. Does it still exist? Weird. Maybe I'm missing some of the word. No, that's the full thing. Home built robot. Whoops. And this one had sonar, apparently. Midwest Gaming Classic. Very colorful. Doom. Altair 8800. GM Video Center. Carburetor. Something. It's a little bit blurry. Cup noodles, campfire, s'mores, ramen. Man. Everything bagel with cream cheese, cup noodles. Ugh. Club something. I don't know what that is. These are very, very old machines of some sort. It's printing text on it. Yeah. Another missed focus, 1946. That's the soldering area. I'm still using the zoom lens, it looks like. I'm playing Unreal Tournament. Portillo's Cup. Classic Chicago. Although this is technically the suburbs. So blurry photo. Which one's this? 1952. Should write some text about the event itself. My Portillo's bag. Okay, these are probably blurry because I was trying to be a little sneaky with the people photos. That's Quake. Danger, do not touch anything. Get electrocuted. Sure. I don't know what that thing is. This person noticed me. That's why they're looking to the side. Blurry photo too. Oh well. Oh, another missed focus. 1960. Gigantic reels. Something. Please do not touch. Ugh. We're 486 DX250. Another misfocus. 1966. Yeah, this is a big piece of arcade machine. Like they're just selling it. Programming the something. Cybex. Zoo. Old dilapidated Atari. The junk pile. Leave something, take something. Don't block the aisles. No uncool printers. Not sure what that means. No weird smells. Don't put anything down that you aren't donating. Yeah. Another missed focus 1972. There's a theme going on. But I usually take enough photos for it not to matter. TV collection. Good old TVs that were made in big wood boxes. And that's a very classic one. Records. Still the zoom lens. At some point I'll get to the... Oh, here we go. So this is the first photo. Well, that's a bad photo. Kind of. I think he might be a YouTuber or something. I'm not sure. Oh. That's the YouTuber guy. What's his name? Ben. Kind of an awkward photo. Oh well. So he was there, but he didn't have a booth, I don't think. Yeah, so these are all of the photos now with the... Switch to the other camera. With this lens. It's very thin. This is an interesting combination. Pretty compact. Autofocus was not great, honestly. It was pretty slow to focus in there with this. But we'll see if the resulting photos are decent. So let me put that in my notes. Oops. So obviously with, instead of f4 aperture, which is what I was using on the zoom lens, this is f4.5. It's really not that huge of a difference, but it's going to be a little bit of a difference with the ISO performance. Performance through the range, but I probably lowered the shutter speeds. The thing is that I wanted the photos to look kind of grainy and old. That's kind of the point of this type of event. Some little creature. I mean, these look fine so far. There's the LGR booth again. He's got his wood grain PC. There's the Dave's Retro Video Lab again. I can pull up his... Whoops. Surprised that it opened up. There's nothing in there. Just YouTube videos I was watching yesterday. Let's see. Switch to my tech channel. I haven't uploaded there in a while. Cryo sheet. Okay. Whoops. See how many okay, he doesn't have a ton of subscribers. 3,420 subscribers, 66 videos. Well, I guess he doesn't have a ton of videos on here either. 178,000 views. We uploaded 4 days ago. 2 months ago. Okay, that's a big gap. I can't really talk with my tech channel because I haven't uploaded there in a bit. Let me see what this is at. $589. Let's see what the views are at. 330,000. He does good stuff, good work. It's high quality. So if you're into camcorders and such, just check it out. Yep. Sony Vaio computer. I actually had a Vaio laptop for quite a few years. It had that signature purple shell to it. Harvest Moon for $400. And it's not even the... I don't know if that's the official, like, paper from the package. I don't think it is. It's like a remade box thing. Here's another camera setup, a live webcam. I can see if this thing's still working, or works. See what's going on with it. Zig. It's not working on one of my browsers. Maybe this one's blocking it. Nope. It doesn't work. Images captured once per minute. Once per minute. May break without warning. Oh wow. Atomic fireball. $50 for a Core 2 Duo Mac Mini. Mac OS Copland. I mean, so far, I'm liking the pictures from this combination. Again, this is the 28mm Viltrox f4.5 packet lens. It's my OBS preview. Yeah. So this is what the photos are from with the A7S. Autofocus performance is not great. It's very slow to focus, but so far the pictures look good. That's interesting. I don't know what these wires signify. Yeah, I goofily said the wrong thing. I was talking to this guy a little bit. I had a hand era palm device, but I said that it had a GPS in it, and I mixed it up with a phone that I had. One of the early phones I had with a GPS in it. I can't remember what the company was, but the hand era device that I had a compact flash port in it, and at the time that was rare. But yeah, I feel bad that I mixed that up when I was talking to him. I don't know if he caught it, but yeah, he probably did. He just didn't say anything. Okay, that's a palm device. I could pull up a. Yeah, this is the one that I had. Oh, I guess maybe it had SD and compact flash. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was basically. I didn't have that case though. It did come with like a front cover, but not a case like that. And then the phone that I had, I can't even remember the company name. Then he said this device was in the Terminator movie where they were trying to hack something and they were using this. It's cool. And here people were able to print out pictures from cameras that had disk drives, floppy disk drives. So basically I think it was Sony branded. Yeah, Sony Mavica. Okay, there were multiple. Apple Quick Take. Panasonic Palm Cam. Oh, so they do have. Technically, I could have done this if it has an SD card slot somewhere. Flash card media. Please help yourself to a sticker. Commission on CDs and CD cases. All right. That looked cool. G and Y X2. Very intense looking. "3D World Boxing." The Amiga. So this was a later revision of the original. Obviously it's in a custom shell. So this guy was playing with the Virtual Boy. $32X plus the later Sega plus dock with the CD. So this is the ultimate, the battleship. There we go. So it's not the like ultimate one, but it's close. Because I like the Generation 1 Genesis with the Generation 1 CD player. It looks cooler. But then that's good too. So it's playing Doom. Very cool. I talked to this person a little bit. This was used for medical applications and stuff. Crystal Eyes. Alien encounters. Okay. This book was published by this person on an Atari Falcon using Calamus. Whatever that is. Trying to get a decent photo of that. Yeah, I'm actually very happy so far with the Viltrox photos. I thought that it would be challenged to get close enough, but with this stuff specifically, it seems to work out all right. So that's nice. Ultra Pong. The OG, released from Atari. Yeah. There's the early one, maybe. Or this one. It says Sears on it. Sears made Pong. It's funny. Some random Dell. Oh man. We got ICQ, or is that AOL Instant Messenger? Over here. Microsoft Chat. Hmm. I don't know what that is. Networking stuff. Okay, here's a picture of the phone network that they had set up. Very cool. Some type of who knows what. Please don't touch. Pick up this phone and dial 535. I'm slacking on my notes. See which picture that was. 2018. Two zero two three. There we go. Yeah, I think that's probably part of it as well. Another one of those. Oh, I think I just went back to this and took a photo with the other camera lens. Yeah, that worked out alright. Okay, I lowered the shutter speed. Hmm. What's the number on this one? 2027. So here's another missed focus. That was original SimCity. For DOS, probably. 2029. Garfield phone. The eyes open up when you pull the thing from it. The picture's a little messed up. Oh well. Back to this magical shop. PL archive. Some random stuff for sale, probably. GTX 460. S3 Verge. My original Windows computer had a S3 graphics thing on it. It was a Toshiba Pentium 166. I think it came with 32 what am I saying? 32 megabytes of RAM. And the Pentium 166, it was the MMX version of the CPU. So it's a little bit newer than the original. Teletype 33TC. I don't know what this was. Wing Commander something. Group. Okay. Another plushie. That video equipment again. I don't know what that thing is. Bunch of video, similar to VHS, but different sizes. Beta cam. HD. Doom. Found an old camera and the focus was off. Oh well. Is that relay thing again? Oh, here's the Dell guy. Yeah, that was an interesting era of computer stuff. Divisive Dells. Brookhaven correlator. Oops. Wow. No one drew anything gross. That's nice. No. Crowd shot. Yeah, I'm happy with the results from this Viltrox lens. Very nice. That one's missed focus. 2053. Let's play again. Oh, I wonder if this was the thing from that War Games movie. Looks like it, maybe. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. Let me see what computer they used. Okay. That's not helpful. Let's see if Google's AI thing. IMSA. Okay, I don't think that's the same one. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, this was undetermined. What does it say? Please do not touch. Hmm. Whatever the heck that is. And then misfocus as well. 2057. I'll have a lot of examples of that in a future video. XCOM. There's their merch again. More stuff to buy. There's the soldering station. Sus. Alright. This is very cool. Some type of microscope. EMRAY. EMRAY. Yeah, very cool. That was neat. Old software. Visual C++. Hmm. Oops. Let's see. More plushies. More random drawings on computers. Yeah, this is LGR's thing, I think. Omnibot. Sony Vaio computer. Yeah, he had a camera set up as well. Not the most flattering picture. Is that the game cam? Logitech Quick Cam. Hmm. All right. So the 8-bit guy, he wrote this game and then he put it on Super Nintendo. Pretty cool. $50. It's on Sega Genesis as well. I think he had other people port things to different systems. I've never played it. I don't know if it's actually fun or what, but very cool. Adrian's Digital Basement. I watched quite a few of his videos. And I painted or modded C64. More random stuff. Hmm. 6502 CPU. Just trying to get through these. There's a lot, but I'm close to being done here. Proto web. Some random computer of some sort. Another plushie. Proto web. Chickens. It's related to the computer somehow. Yeah. Do you dare wake the screaming chicken? There's the phone network. What is this? Hibernated. Terminal computer. Another blurry photo. 2112. Mouse cover. I don't know what that was. It's a very unique looking screen. Random motherboards. This is a cool little setup. Bunk bed with a computer. I mean, it's not a bunk bed, it's a bed on top of a desk. Yeah. All orange themed. Garfield sheets. I would have gotten better photos, but this person was very enthusiastic when I was standing there. Look at this video editor. Gigantic mini computer. Yeah, it's very mini. Soldering station. Yeah, okay, that's it. That was a lot. So at some point with this, I'll look it over again, come up with some type of voiceover, things to say about the event. Talk about the camera equipment more. Yeah. Do I want to stream anything else here? I don't know. anyways, if you maybe are interested in old computers and stuff, there's obviously this one, but there's a bunch of other ones throughout the country, or maybe your own country. If you're not in the United States, you can check out and just get into the whole retro computing stuff because it's cool to see. I mean, if you're younger, I feel like it's still relevant. You can learn about older computing technology and kind of where things came from, how it works, and you can see there's a lot of standards and things. There kind of were standards at the time. I mean, a lot of certain CPUs were used for a bunch of these computers, like the 6502 and the 6800, I think it was, or 68,000. Let me see which manufacturer. Motorola. And I'm trying to think of what. So, for example, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, they use CPUs that were used a lot in the computers of like that general era or even before that era because the consoles were they tried to make them cheaper. But the Super Nintendo had the 65 C816 whatever. It was like a 16-bit version of the 6502. Uh, the Sega Genesis used a Motorola CPU, I think. And then the 68,000 is what it used. So I guess it was similar to current era stuff where a lot of consoles use like NVIDIA things or let me see what the Switch is using. But basically, I wouldn't say there was a ton of custom things for consoles that even though it felt like it at the time. Except maybe some of the PlayStations. They might have had their own custom silicon. Not sure. Anyways, so computing stuff is cool. I'm into it. I don't want to have any of it myself, so it's fun to go to events like this and look at all the stuff, take photos of all the stuff, but then I don't have to store any of it or deal with any of it. Let other people do that. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm done for today streaming. Gonna work on other stuff. I could do it here, but don't really have any comments or anything, it looks like. So I think I'm just gonna do it off stream. Anyways, peace. I'll see ya. Whoops. I think it ended. No, I'm still streaming. I hit the wrong button.